The second stimulus check debate heats up, but when will you get it? How much will you receive? And what is Congress thinking? Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today with big, exciting, great news about the check, especially if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or veteran benefits. Big updates today. I mean, I didn't expect so many updates on Saturday, but they're all over the place, so let me get right to them. Lots of confirmations today and new twists and turns. First, confirmation that there will be a second stimulus check. All the groups involved say there's going to be a second stimulus check. We certainly don't see confirmation of multiple checks, but we have confirmation of a second stimulus check. Second, the manner in which the check will be decided upon will be act of Congress, and that the decision will be on around August 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. It doesn't seem like it's going to be on an emergency basis. As you know, yesterday there was talk that it could be done very quickly. That's not going to happen. Third, when would you get the second stimulus check? Mid-August, late August seems to be the time frame now rather than September, and certainly July is out of the picture. Finally, the fact that this is probably not the last stimulus check to you appears to be the reality. This appears to be only the second stimulus check and not the final stimulus check. Oh, and one other confirmation, the cap. Most indications suggest that the cap that Mitch McConnell proposed last week, that a lot of viewers got very nervous about, $40,000 individual 2019 earnings, double that $80,000 husband and wife 2019 earnings, is not happening. So great news. The cap appears to be landing where the first stimulus check was, at about $75,000 individual, double that for husband and wife. Now, what's going on today? Oh my God, it's a hot mess, and I'm not talking about the weather outside. I'm talking about that guy from Kentucky. He is literally making a mess of himself, the Republican Party, and the second stimulus package, because he's saying now that he's not even going to get it together for 2 to 3 more weeks. Yes. Now, ultimately, I don't, I have to report what he's saying. I don't necessarily believe what he's saying. But as you recall, a week ago yesterday, on a Friday afternoon, Mitch McConnell said that the following Monday, he and Steve Mnuchin, who had been drafting the Republicans' proposal for the second stimulus check, were going to introduce it last Monday. Well, as you recall, if you were watching this channel, it wasn't introduced on Monday. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday morning, Mitch McConnell said, I'm debuting it Thursday afternoon. Hundreds of news reports saying we're getting ready for Mitch McConnell's second stimulus check package. Thursday afternoon, nothing. What happened? White House irate at Mitch McConnell, saying, we're not agreeing on your second stimulus check and stimulus package currently. We're going to hold it up and negotiate it further. Now, today, that was Thursday. Friday, Mitch McConnell says we're going to debut it on this coming Monday. Okay, you remember that was my reporting yesterday? Well, here's the new quote from Mitch McConnell. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks from now. What is going on with this man? So we literally will not know the Republicans' proposal for the elements of like dependence, the amount of the check, the thresholds, the cap calculations, things like that. We won't know that for certain from the Republicans. Certainly this Monday, we're not going to hear it, if not several weeks. I don't know what's going on with Mitch McConnell, but I guess he's just sort of, digging a hole for his coffin to be put in for his political future, because this is just horrific. I've never seen anything like it. Let me get to what's going on about the amount of the check, who is eligible for the check, and why there is so much bad reporting out there about what's going on. And I don't mean channels, I mean broadcast news. So first, the amount of the check. Let's start with the bad reporting. Forbes.com and broadcast channels are all reporting that the Republicans have said how much they want the check to be, how much the dependents will get, which dependents will get it. I got to tell you, it is 100% inaccurate reporting. No Republican has gone on the record and said how much any of these things will be, with the exception of the president 2 weeks ago, who said, I don't like the $1,200 second stimulus check proposal from the Democrats. I want to give you more generous, I butchered it again, generous amount than the Democrats are proposing. He said, I'm not going to give you $1,200. I want to give you more than $1,200. That was then. Now today, all these news reporters are actually saying that the Republicans have said they're going to do $1,200. The Republicans have never said that. They literally have never given you an amount. And so what has happened is that Friday and Thursday, insiders leaked alleged allegations of what the Republicans want. But the Republicans never said this on the record. Moreover, the news reporting today says that Steve Mnuchin, who is the Treasury Secretary to Donald Trump, is really not happy with Mitch McConnell and is really sitting back and saying no, no, no to a lot of this stuff. So there's not a united force about the Republicans. What is going on? So, for example, a new report minutes ago says the Republicans are proposing a one-time stimulus check of $1,200 for every individual. No, incorrect. Wrong reporting. The Republicans have never actually given you a number. They have not given you a number. As again, the president said he wanted to give you more than $1,200, but that was 2 weeks ago. Next incorrect reporting. $2,400 for married and joint filers is a Republican proposal. No. Also incorrect reporting. It has never been confirmed. No Republican has ever said this on the record. Third, $500 for dependents under the age of 17. Also incorrect. Never confirmed. Last, no check for people over 17 years of age. No check for adult dependents. Incorrect. Never been said by a Republican. The bad reporting out there is really rampant among broadcast news channels. They are really taking insiders' allegations of what the Republicans are going to propose and run it as fact. It simply is not fact. It is conjecture based upon an insider. Now, the exact quote was the following. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, our proposal is the exact same proposal as last time. Okay, as to what? As to eligibility, as to amount, as to no one gets their check. What does that mean? That is the vaguest sentence you have ever heard in your life. And so people are taking that sentence in broadcast news and saying that, oh, everything is going to be the same as the CARES Act one. That's not what Steve Mnuchin said, and that's not the quote that he was answering, the question he was answering. The amount and eligibility criterion are to be announced and decided is actually what Steve Mnuchin said this week, meaning the eligibility issue is still up for grabs. It's still up for debate among the Republicans. The amount is still up for debate. Why is this so critical? Because a lot of the viewers who are the viewers of this channel are worried about two big things, and I'm worried for you as well. Eligibility and dependence and the amount. What's going on here is it seems that the Republicans want this to land at one check for $1,200 for an individual who's not a dependent. Okay, we all got that. We all understand that. That's easy. What's going on with the Republicans and the dependents? We don't know. And broadcast news reporters are really making a mess of this and confusing everyone. And so I apologize for them, even though I'm not them. But I'm apologizing for them confusing you. They're first saying the Republicans want to give $500 to dependents 17 years of age or younger. That's simply not true. We just don't know. The Republicans haven't said anything yet. The Republicans initially said 2 weeks ago that all dependents of all ages, age 1 to 100, would get a second stimulus check, and it would be the same amount as the non-dependent, aka $1,200. Everyone would get the same amount of check. That was the first thing they said. Second thing they said was that anyone who's an adult dependent, anyone that's 17 years of older, would get a second stimulus check provided there's no more than 3 dependents on a tax return. They specifically said, Republicans and Democrats, that they were unhappy with the CARES Act which did not make eligible adult dependents 17 years or older. So what the hell's going on? What's going on is broadcast news reporters are really confusing people. Now, the caps. The one thing that seems to be perhaps clear, but again is conjecture, is that the caps will land where the first stimulus check was. What were those caps? $75,000 individual 2019 earnings. You'll get a stimulus check if you made that amount of money or less last year. Married joint filers, $150,000 2019 earnings or less, you will get a stimulus check aka, $2,400 for husband and wife. That seems to be clear. And Mitch McConnell apparently in one interview and I think Steve Mnuchin as well, said we're backing off of this $40,000 cap, which is ridiculous. I mean, it really is ridiculous. So what's going on with this time frame? I mean, this is the thing that is literally changing by the minute. I'm recording at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I would not be surprised by 3 o'clock it would change again. Mitch McConnell literally cannot get his story right as to when he's going to debut his second stimulus check package. But this was his quote minutes earlier today, late last night. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be able to come together and pass something we can send over to the House and down to the President for a signature. Now, understand, that's not saying that in 2 to 3 weeks we'll have a bill signed into law. He says in 2 to 3 weeks we'll have something done in the Senate. What the hell? I mean, is he joking? I mean, really? Now, when asked when are you going to debut your bill, he said, I'll get to it. We're going to send, then he says we're going to send $100 million to Kentucky for stuff. Okay, great. That doesn't answer the question. How about the rest of America, Mitch? Then the question came up about all these other things which are in the second stimulus package. And here Mitch McConnell just made a bigger mess of himself once again. If you recall, on Thursday or Wednesday, I had said to you that Mitch McConnell and the White House specifically said that they think the stimulus check, unemployment benefits, and schools are 3 things that need emergency orders, and they're going to do them as separate bills right away. I think that was great. I think that was wonderful. A lot of the viewers agreed with me as well. We all thought these are really big emergency issues. I also think rent assistance, and hazard pay are emergency as well. But those 3 are absolutely emergency issues. He said we're not going to hold up the whole discussion of those 3 issues because they're part of a package. The Democrats, on the other hand, said, yeah, we are. And I was like, oh boy, that is a bad position to take. You see, even Mitch wants to have a say in this interview, okay, in this recording, as he flies overhead again. The twist now, as of Saturday, is Mitch is backing off of that. So whereas on Thursday, Mitch said, hey, we're going to have separate bills, we're going to have a different bill for this, and a different bill for that, and a different bill for this. Okay, now he's going to say, we're doing just one bill. He literally cannot keep his story straight one day to the next. The Democrats have said we are not going to piecemeal this. We're going to do one package. Remember, the stimulus package is a big box, and in there is the check, the proposal for the check, hazard pay, rent assistance. The Republicans are going to put their stuff in there. There's something for a brand new building for the FBI. Broadway is trying to get something for its actors. Disney and 3M and everyone who wants a handout are trying to get stuff in the stimulus package. Democrats say we aren't going to piecemeal. We want is a big box. Yeah, a big box so the lobbyists can get their stuff in the box. Yeah, I got that. The Republicans said, no, there's some things that are emergency. We need to do them right now. That was great. I mean, really, a lot of the viewers loved it as I did. But here's today, Saturday, Mitch says, you know what? I changed my mind. We can just wait and do everything together in a couple weeks from now. Oh, my goodness. I just can't. I really, really can't. So where are we? I mean, we have confirmation there's a check. We have confirmation that the check is going to be sent, that we have confirmation the check is going to be sent in mid-August or late August. Now, how you'll get the check, I've done a lot of videos over that. I'll repeat it just very quickly. If you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, or Railroad benefits, you will get the check in the same manner in which you usually get your benefits. So if you get them by direct deposit, you'll get it by direct deposit. If you get it by debit card, you get it by debit card. If you get it by paper check, you get it by paper check. Next, if you are newly on benefits this year and did not file 2019 tax return and have never filed a non-filer, get ready to file it because you're going to have to do it. If you've already filed a non-filer in earlier this year to get your first stimulus check, then you don't have to do it again. Next, if you are on any of those benefits and you have a child, to ensure the child gets that stimulus check, if you did not file 2019 returns, you'll have to do a non-filer as well. We will know more of this as we get closer to Mitch getting his act together. The IRS, the Treasury, who ultimately send out the check or the funds to you, allegedly have improved their computer systems to route them to you in a faster manner than the first time. So the good news about, and again, this is just allegedly, there's no statement from the IRS. These are outsiders who are giving interviews to CNBC and Broadcast News and everyone that can get them to talk. And they're saying apparently, not confirmed, but apparently the funds can get routed to you faster than the first stimulus check. So there's talk of maybe mid-August. Again, this is allegations. It's simply not confirmed. If incorrect, then the manner in which and time in which you'll get the checks is the following. You would get the funds if you receive your benefits by electronic means in late August, and if you receive your benefits by paper check early September. Next, a lot of you are sometimes asked, I'm not on benefits, so I get a stimulus check. Yes. If you went off of benefits this year, you'll get a stimulus check. You don't have to be on benefits to get a stimulus check. The important thing to understand is that people who are on benefits clearly fall under this $75,000 individual cap 2019 earnings or $150,000 2019 earnings, husband and wife. So you clearly are eligible for the check. But there is a big but. The but that makes me worried about is this strangeness about adult dependence. I have been running what all these Republicans have been saying up until 2 days ago, that, hey, everyone's getting a stimulus check who is a dependent, up to 3 dependents per tax return. We're getting rid of that thing of only giving dependents who are 17 years of age or younger a check. We're getting rid of that. We're going to give all dependents of all ages a stimulus check. Well, I'm worried about these leaked allegations of what the Republicans want, because if the Republicans' second stimulus package, whenever it's debuted, 2 years from now or whatever it is, says in there, oh, we aren't giving adult dependents 17 years or older a second stimulus check, I don't know what's going to happen, because the Democrats said, oh no, that was a huge mistake. We all admit it was a mistake. So if it's a mistake, why do the Republicans want to put the mistake back in? Awful. So if you are an adult dependent, if you are 45 years old or 65 years old, or you're 18 years old, I have a very nice person who commented just a few minutes ago. He's in college. He's 18 years old, but he's a dependent on his parents' tax return. Will you get a second stimulus check? All the proposals up to a few days ago said you would, but these allegations of what might be in the Republican proposal says the Republicans may not want that. I don't know. Ultimately, the important thing for you to understand is that the situation is very fluid. There's some very bad news reporting out there. And what I want you to understand is that there are 2 proposals, ultimately, Republican and Democrat. They have to be combined together. They have to be negotiated together. So if Mitch says, I'm not giving anyone a stimulus check, I'm just giving a lot of chicken to Kentucky, and you can all go home and reelect me, I don't want you to sit back or worry or, curse at the screen or anything like that, because that is just their proposal. The 2 proposals are put together. That's the way Congress works. They're negotiated and argued and voted upon together. It's not like one bill gets one say and that's it. So I don't want you to worry about what the Republicans propose. Now, you're certainly going to be angry and pissed like I am that if Mitch is going to delay this for 2 to 3 more weeks. I mean, this is just insanity. I mean, I'm just beside myself when I read this quote. I actually had to read the quote twice. I was so, it's just crazy. But you're owed multiple checks. You're owed a lot of checks. And coming up later today, I will be going over rent assistance, hazard pay. I'll be answering questions the second stimulus check as well. And I'll be going over PUA, which ironically, and FPUC, ironically is one of the few topics that the Republicans have actually said on the record in the last 2 days. So if you don't hear Steve Mnuchin say something on the record, I don't want you to think that that is actually the situation for the Republicans yet, because there's a lot of bad news reporting out there. And if you're in broadcast news, you know, clean it up, because this is just not good stuff. Coming up later today, a lot of great stories. Thanks for tuning in to our morning show, which we debuted earlier this morning, called Mornings with LALATE. Very well watched. It was a lot of fun. If you have comments or questions of what you would like to see in that show, in that series continued, drop them below. As always, like and subscribe to this channel. Stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused, and stay with LALATE for more.